In this video, I'm going to walk you through ProHost and show you how some of the main features work. I'll go roughly in order of what's most useful to know about first, and I'll try not to spend too long on any one thing. If you've got any questions after watching this, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to jump on a call and go through anything in more detail. So let's just get into it. First of all, I wanted to show you how the inbox works. So this is what the inbox looks like. Of course, messages from all of your connected OTAs will show up here. And here we have an example of the AI at work. So the AI will draft a response to messages that guests send through. For example, in this situation, the guest has sent through, "Thank you, can we get a late checkout? What's the parking situation?" And the AI has drafted the response, "Late checkout depends on the cleaning schedule and same-day arrival, so it's usually not possible." And then it describes the parking information as well. And you can see here it also gives each reply a confidence score, and this one's at 100%. So the confidence score is essentially how confident the AI is about the accuracy of this information. And you have the flexibility to adjust the settings in the system. So the AI has to meet a certain percentage confidence score before it actually sends the message automatically. If the message is below the required confidence score that you've set, it'll flag the message and it'll send you a notification so that someone can review it before anything goes out. So the two options we have here are the AI drafts a message and you can review the message and then send it out yourself, or the AI is automatically sending the message if it meets your requirements. If you don't like a response, whether it's been sent or not, you can use these thumbs up and thumbs down buttons to give feedback and have it rewrite the message. And the feedback actually does influence how the AI writes in the future, so it gradually becomes more aligned with how you would like to communicate with the guest. And that's basically how the messaging works. For most hosts, it ends up handling the large majority of messages without them needing to do anything. But some people like to start with the automated messaging switched off, and instead the AI just drafts responses, and then once they become more comfortable with the kind of information that's being drafted, they can then switch to the messages being sent automatically. So at this point, most people would like to know how the AI knows what to say. Where does it get its information from? So that's where I will show you the AI memory. This is what the AI memory looks like. When you first connect your properties, the AI goes through the last 3 months of your messages and your listing descriptions, and it uses that information to build out its knowledge base. So you can see in the memories, everything's organized into different categories. Some messages are specific to certain listings. Some of them are applicable to all properties. Some are to do with the tone of voice, how you would actually like to communicate with your guest. And some of them are standard procedures. So the vast majority of this will just be automatically generated based on your past messaging history and based on the information that's in your account at the time of import. You can also, using this search bar, search for a specific keyword to find certain memories. For example, I've just searched pool, and now I'm finding all of the memories that have to do with the keyword pool. So because this section is constantly storing information, the more you use the system and the more messages you send out from ProHost, the better the AI's responses get, and the more information you'll have in this section. So before I did mention Autopilot settings, so I'll just go into that section now, AI Autopilot. So this is where you can adjust how the AI behaves. So of course you can choose which properties you do want Autopilot switched on or off for. And just to explain, Autopilot means that the AI is sending the messages automatically. If you have Autopilot switched off, none of the messages will be sent automatically. They will be drafted, and you'll choose yourself whether you want to send that message or not. You can also choose how long it waits before sending a reply. You can choose the name of the AI. So in this case, the AI is called Sarah. And this is the confidence threshold section that I was referring to earlier. So in this account, the confidence threshold is set to 90%, so the AI needs to be at least 90% confident about the information that it's sending before that message will be sent automatically. And if it's less than 90% confident, the message will just sit there as a draft instead, and you'll be able to manually review it and then send it. We also have this sentiment threshold section. This is based on the sentiment of the guest. So in some situations, if the guest is really frustrated, if they're not responding positively to the AI, you might prefer to message that guest yourself instead. So we allow you to select how frustrated does the guest need to be before we switch to manual messaging. We stop allowing the AI to automatically message that guest. And as we scroll down in this section, you can see that you can choose whether Autopilot is on or off depending on the way that the guest messaged you. So we do have a WhatsApp integration. We also have a Gmail integration. So you could have it switched on for OTA messages and switched off for Gmail, whatever you prefer. You can also choose whether it's on or off depending on the OTA. So if you wanted to use it for Airbnb bookings but not booking.com reservations, you would be able to do that. You also have the ability to choose whether Autopilot's switched on depending on the category of conversation. For example, if a guest is asking about refunds, you might not want the AI to respond to them. Or you could have this switched on, like in this instance, but with a custom instruction. If we scroll back up to the top, we also have another section up here, which is for voice AI or AI reception. If you're using the AI reception, your guest will actually be able to call a number and the AI will answer. And you can choose the voice of the AI receptionist. You can set a greeting. You can set also a handoff number for anything that the AI can't handle. So here we can set some parameters. Is it answering the phone all the time, or is it answering after hours only, for example? You can also choose the voice of the AI receptionist. Here's where you can enter a custom greeting, and that's how they'll start the call. And here's where you can enter your handoff number. And of course, the AI receptionist has access to the AI memories as well. So they'll be able to answer any questions that the guest might have about your property, including the access code for the property, including instructions for certain appliances if you have those stored in your memory. Of course, things like parking instructions and directions to the property. So we'll now move into AI workflows. Using these workflows, you can set up pretty much any type of automation. The way it works is you just describe what you want to happen in plain language, and then the AI builds that workflow for you. So if we have a look at this example here, the prompt is send a personalized response to the guest, welcoming them and thanking them for booking. And the AI has responded, I've set up a workflow that will automatically send a personalized welcome message to the guest as soon as their reservation is created. The message will thank them for booking and confirm their stay dates at the property. So this is a pretty straightforward use case. You can also build much more complex workflows using this as well. So here's another example. They've just written in the box, I want a monthly report of cleanings completed and sent to the property owner. And so it's listed here exactly what it will do. And then they've added on top of it and also include some cleaning photos, and the workflow has been updated. So you can really describe the workflow in whatever terms make sense to you, and it should be able to take that and build a step-by-step workflow that will form that automation. We also have a marketplace of workflow automations. So once you've created a workflow, you can choose to make that workflow public if you wish, and if the workflow is made public, other people with ProhostAI accounts will be able to find that workflow in Marketplace. So if you're not entirely sure what kind of workflows might be helpful for your business, you can browse the Marketplace, find one that you might be interested in, and you can select it and use it for your own purposes. So the next feature is one that's probably the most different from what you'd normally find in other tools, and that is the AI employees. The idea of AI employees is that instead of just the AI responding or reacting to a prompt, these are agents that run on a schedule and proactively check what's going on in your business and take action. We have a series of templates for these employees already created. For example, Claudia, the cleaning manager, Rex, revenue optimizer, Manny, maintenance manager, and you also have the option to create a custom employee as well. So we'll use Claudia as an example. Each employee has their own goals and responsibilities and their own independent confidence threshold that controls how independently they act. They can also communicate via email or SMS, not just inside the app. So we have the soul of the employee here. We have a section where you can add goals, daily responsibilities, and then we have the heartbeat. So the heartbeat is essentially how often the AI employee wakes up and looks for things to do inside the system. So rather than you having to ask for it to do an action, it will wake up, for example, every hour. It will look for things that need doing, and it will either notify people of those things or it will take action itself, depending on what permissions you give it. So here we can adjust the confidence threshold. We can also adjust the level of proactiveness. So are they helpful? Do they handle obvious follow-ups? Or are they proactive? Do they look for issues and opportunities to help? And for these AI employees, you can also, of course, choose a voice.
Hi there, I'm Coral. Friendly and happy to help.
We have a section where you can review the latest activity by the AI employee. So you'll always know whether something was done by an AI employee or someone else. Here, for example, we can see the most recent action taken by Claudia, and that was an audit of the cleaning schedule. Another example here is Claudia confirming that a turnover has been completed, and she sent a message to a member of the team to confirm that the front door lock batteries have been replaced as the guest requested, and she's also closed a follow-up task for the item. You can, of course, also set up one of the AI employees so that they react to certain triggers, for example, a new reservation or a cancelled reservation, and you can add and manage the triggers here. So at this point, most people are interested in how the credits work. Depending on how often the AI employee wakes up, we estimate a different usage in credits per month. So every user of ProhostAI Pro gets 100 credits per dollar spent on their subscription every month. And this is usually enough for most day-to-day operations, but of course, if you need to purchase more credits, you can do so. And the less often the AI employee wakes up, the less credits they use. So if I were to switch Claudia to waking up every 12 hours, you can see that the number of estimated credits per month goes down. Now we can have a look at one of the other employees, for example, Manny, the maintenance manager. And we'll see some actions that Manny has taken recently. So Manny has escalated a follow-up for a listings dishwasher repair by initiating an outbound call to the maintenance contractor responsible for that repair and confirming the technician's dispatch and parts availability. So you can see in this example that because this account had Twilio connected, Manny was actually able to make a call to the maintenance contractor and confirm the availability of certain parts. So you have the option of hiring any of these AI employees or creating your own custom employee. We also have Ask AI available. So Ask AI is just a general chat interface that you can use to ask questions about your account, pull data, or take quick actions. And it's really handy if you want to find something without having to navigate through the whole app, or if you're wanting to take some action in the system, for example, building a workflow. You don't have to go to the AI workflows page. You can ask AI to create that workflow for you. So I can just ask AI, when was my most recent checkout at Chalet Vista? I can send the question and the AI will respond. So there are a few other features worth mentioning, but I won't go into too much detail about these. For example, upsells. Guests can purchase upsells through their guidebook, or you can have it set up so that the AI will automatically suggest certain upsells like a stay extension based on whether the guest has available nights at the end of their stay. We have a direct booking website, and you can either use this on its own or use it connected to another external website as a booking engine. And of course, we also have AI-generated guidebooks. So as soon as you import your properties, these guidebooks will be generated based on the information that's pulled in. And it can pick up on information that has been imported from the past 3 months of conversation history, as well as whatever you have in your listing details. So we can just go into this one as an example for Willowside. So this has all been automatically generated. We have an initial welcome page which shows important reservation information like the check-in instructions and the Wi-Fi code. And as soon as the property was imported, the AI pulled in information from the listing details and from the last 3 months of conversation history, the same way it builds the AI memory, and it used it to put this together. So you're not starting from scratch. In most cases, the bulk of the guidebook is already there, and you're just going in and tweaking a few things or filling the gaps. And I should mention that guests access the guidebook through a link that gets sent automatically, so there's no download required. So next I'll show you the cleaning tasks. So what you can do here is build out cleaning checklists for your properties. These get automatically assigned to your cleaner after every checkout, so they always receive a clear brief, exactly what needs doing, in what order, without you having to send anything manually. And your cleaners can check off tasks as they go, so you get real-time visibility into where the turnover is at. You'll know when it started, what's been done, and what is complete without having to chase anyone for the update. And along with cleaning, you've also got maintenance and inspection tasks. So this is for things like scheduled property inspections, smoke alarm checks, filter replacements, whatever recurring upkeep your property needs. You set the frequency, whether that's weekly, monthly, quarterly, and it'll get scheduled automatically from there. So it's a good way to make sure those things are actually getting done consistently rather than just when someone remembers to bring it up. And this is where it ties in really nicely with the messaging side of things. If a guest sends through a message, say they message that a tap is dripping or the dishwasher isn't working, the AI can actually pick up on that and automatically create a maintenance task from that message. So rather than that message coming through, you're reading it, replying to the guest, and then separately going and creating a task, all of that just happens. The right person gets notified, it's tracked in the system, and nothing falls through the cracks. So just before we wrap up, a quick mention on pricing. We do have a free plan available, which gives you access to messaging, cleaning, guidebooks, tasks, and more, so it's a great way to get started. If you want to unlock all the AI capabilities, our Pro plan starts at $15 per listing per month. And we do have volume discounts available, so if you've got a larger portfolio, reach out and we can put together a personalized quote for you. And in terms of support, our Ask AI feature is a much quicker way to find answers, so if you do get stuck, that's usually the best place to start. If you'd prefer to speak to someone directly, you can hit the contact button down here and get in touch with our team. Also, onboarding is completely free of charge and you can book a support call at any time. We cover multiple time zones, so you should be able to find a time that works for wherever you're based. So if you'd like to give it a go, we do have a 2-week free trial of all of the Pro features. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We're happy to help.